You're standing in Pudding Lane on the night of September 1st, 1666, and you don't know it yet, but the city around you has hours left to live. The air smells like cold smoke and horse dung. Timber-framed houses lean over the narrow lane, their upper stories nearly touching across the gap. Somewhere nearby, a dog barks. A shutter cacks in the wind. Inside the bakery behind you, the ovens have cooled from the day's work, but embers still glow in the ash. Thomas Ferner and his family sleep upstairs. The apprentices are curled on straw pallets. No one hears the spark catch. No one sees the flame climb. By dawn, this lane will be an inferno. By the end of the week, medieval London will be gone. This is the story of 3 days that erased a city. London in 1666 is a city of 350,000 souls packed into a medieval maze of timber and thatch. The streets are narrow, unpaved, and filthy. Open sewers run through the gutters. Most buildings are wood, and daub with overhanging upper floors that block the sun. The skyline is dominated by old St. Paul's Cathedral, its scaffolding wrapped in timber for repairs that never seem to finish. The city is still recovering from the Great Plague of 1665, which killed perhaps 100,000 people. Businesses are rebuilding. Confidence is fragile. England is also at war with the Dutch, straining the treasury and the navy. And there's a fire risk everyone knows about, but no one has solved. Timber buildings, open hearths, candles everywhere, bakeries and breweries with ovens running day and night. Firefighting tools are primitive. Leather buckets, hand squirts, prayer. Today we're walking through September 1st to 2, 1666 across neighborhoods that will soon be ash. 7 stops, 1 city, 3 days that change everything. Pudding Lane is barely wide enough for a cart. The buildings lean so close you could shake hands with a neighbor across the street without leaving your window. Thomas Ferner's bakery sits halfway down the lane. The ovens are brick, fueled by wood and coal. The day's baking is done, but the ovens stay warm overnight. Shutting them down completely and restarting them was test fuel. Flour dust coats the floor. Stacks of firewood and coal are stored inside close to the heat. This is normal. Every bakery in London does the same. Upstairs, Ferner sleeps with his wife and daughter. His apprentices and a maid sleep in the attic. The guilds regulate baking schedules. Bread must be ready by dawn for the morning market. Fire risk is part of the trade. You accept it or you find another job. Around 1 a.m. something ignites. Maybe a spark from the oven. Maybe an ember blown by a draft. It catches the firewood. Then the wall. Then the staircase. By the time the family wakes, the ground floor is an inferno. Ferner and his family escape across the rooftops. Timber roofs, easy to climb if you're desperate. The maid doesn't make it. She's the first to die. Neighbors wait, too, shouting. Smoke pours into the lane. Families stumble into the street with blankets. Children bundles of clothes. The fire climbs the timber frames, leaps from house to house through the overhanging upper stories. Someone runs to wake the Lord Mayor, Thomas Worth. He arrives, looks at the blaze, and dismisses it. A woman might piss it out, he says, and goes back to bed. There's no fire brigade, no organized response, just neighbors with leather buckets forming chains to the public conduits. But the summer has been dry. The wind is blowing from the east. The flames are already ahead of the buckets. By 2 a.m., a dozen houses are burning. By 3 a.m., the fire reaches Temp Street. By morning, Temp Street is burning. The riverfront is lined with warehouses. Timber, tar, oil, tallow, brandy, coal, everything combustible the city needs for trade. All packed into wooden sheds. The fire hits the warehouses like kindling meeting a torch. Merchants scramble to save their stock. Where is? Small boats are overloaded with salvaged goods, sinking under the weight. The wharves are chaos. People shouting, carts blocking the narrow lanes. The east wind drives the flames westward toward the city center. A warehouse filled with tallow and spirits explodes. The blast sends flames leaping across Fish Street Hill. The fire is no longer a neighborhood problem. It's a citywide disaster. But there's still no coordinated response. No fire breaks, no demolitions. The Lord Mayor refuses to order houses torn down without compensation. He's worried about lawsuits. By the time anyone realizes the scale, it's too late to stop. By midday, the smoke is visible from Cheapside, the commercial heart of London. Goldsmiths, drapers, mercers, all operating from timber-fronted shops. The market is still open. Some people are still shopping. Others are watching the smoke rise from the east. You can see it now, a black column reaching into the sky. You can smell it. Burning timber, burning wool, burning flesh. Street vendors debate whether to flee. Wealthy residents hire carts at inflated prices, 10 times the normal rate. The poor carry what they can, a blanket, a pot, a child. A goldsmith begins burying his stock in his garden. He wraps silver plate in cloth, digs a pit, covers it with dirt. His neighbors watch and start doing the same. A mother haggles with a carter, offering everything she has for a ride to more fields. He refuses. Not enough coin. The fire is still hours away from Cheapside, but the city is already fracturing. If you're enjoying this and want to support the channel, a like or subscription helps us keep reconstructing lost histories like this one. No pressure, just grateful you're here. That afternoon, old St. Paul's Cathedral still dominates the skyline. Medieval stone, timber scaffolding wrapped around the tower for repairs. Booksellers' stalls cluttering the churchyard. The booksellers are carrying their stock inside. They think the stone walls will protect the books. They're wrong. The cathedral has a lead roof, timber scaffolding, pews and furniture inside. And now thousands of books, paper, leather, ink, all combustible, refugees are sheltering in the nave, families with bundles, children sleeping on the stone floor. A clergyman stands at the west door, watching the smoke darken the sky. He realizes the fire won't stop at the city walls. By evening, the flames will reach the churchyard. By the next morning, the lead roof will melt and pour into the streets like a river. The cathedral will burn for days. As night falls on September 2nd, the fire is unstoppable. It's consuming 300 acres. Churches collapse. Guild halls fall. The guild hall's lead roof melts. The stones crack in the heat. King Charles II and his brother, the Duke of York, are in the streets organizing fire breaks. They order houses demolished with gunpowder, but the wind keeps shifting. The fire outpaces every effort. Samuel Pepys, a naval administrator, buries his wine and cheese in his garden. He loads his important papers onto a cart and sends them out of the city. Then he stands on the riverbank and watches London burn. The flames are visible for miles. The sky glows orange. Ash falls like snow. By the night of September 3rd, tens of thousands have fled to more fields north of the city walls. Open ground, no shelter, just families huddled around bundles of salvaged possessions. Merchants guard their goods. Strangers share food. Children sleep on the bare earth. There are rumors of arson. People blame the French, the Dutch, anyone foreign. The king sends troops to patrol and keep order. Foreigners are attacked in the streets. A child asks